Hi, and welcome to another episode of the State 48 Community Corner. I'm your host, Zach Hall, and today, as you can see, we're here at Make-A-Wish, Arizona, where we are delivering our very first check. We're gonna learn more together. Let's go hang out. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the State 48 Community Corner. I'm your host, Zach Hall, and today we're gonna have a ton of fun learning about wishes, and not just any wish, but Make-A-Wish. And today we're with one of the co-founders, Linda. Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
You can see I'm very excited, not only because I have my own wishes, but I'm a huge fan of kids and their joy and everything Make-A-Wish does. So thank you so much again.
Oh, well, thank you.
And tell us a little bit about the story. For those of us familiar with Make-A-Wish, I understand it starts with wanting to be a cop, but there's got to be more to it than that.
Chris was my little boy, and he was diagnosed with leukemia at age 4.5. It was actually our first day in Phoenix when he was diagnosed, and the doctors had given him 3 years to live. From that day on, he decided he wanted to be a policeman. And of course, Chips was popular then. So Chips and Kojak were his two big heroes. For good reason, police officers were kind of put into our path. I worked with their wives or, met these police officers. And one in particular was Tom Austin. He was a U.S. Customs agent. I had gone to community college with his wife. And she asked me to come over to their house and study that night. So I took little Chris and their little girl, and Chris played for a while, and then it's time to go to sleep. So Chris conks out on the sofa. He's got his little sheriff's outfit on with his gun and holster. And Tommy comes home, a big, tall, 6-foot Texan, and sees this little guy sleeping on his sofa, rubs his little semi-bald head, and says, "What have we got here?" Well, it woke Chris up, so he drew his gun, told Tommy to freeze. Yes. And Tommy, standing like this, and you got a 5-year-old going like this, toy gun. And Chris actually searched him, looking for weapons, held him at his bay, and didn't find anything, but holstered his weapon. Chris stuck out his hand, said, "Hi, I'm Chris." Tommy stuck out his hand, said, "Hi, I'm Tom," and the other hand was a badge. So they became buds. And actually, Kay and Tommy, I want to say pretty much took me into their family. And we all became very good friends. It was several months later before they weaseled out of me what was wrong with Chris, why he was bald. And Tommy worked undercover with narcotics with the Department of Public Safety, Ron Cox. And these two gentlemen sat in their car waiting for the airplanes to land. And Tommy says, "When it comes time, will you help me, Ron? I got to do something for him." So it was in mid-April of 1980 when I took Chris into the hospital, and Paul his doctor, braced me, we're coming towards the end. So that evening I called Tom and I said, "Tom, if there's any way I can call in that promise, now is the time." And he knew by the tone of my voice that we're coming towards the end. Well, he got a hold of Ronnie. Ronnie started making phone calls, and before we knew it, as Ron says, that snowball just kept getting bigger and bigger, But everybody, DPS, were so excited to do something, and this little boy wanted to be a cop, so by God, they were going to make him a cop. And Chris was honored with first and only honorary high patrolman in the history of the state of Arizona. On April 29th, 1980, they took him for a helicopter ride with Air Rescue Mission guys, flew him around Phoenix. We were kind of wondering where they were on taxpayer dollars, but we were already there at the compound waiting. And Jerry Foster, Sky 12 at that time, went alongside and filming. So it was beautiful film footage of this little boy's dream coming true. They showed him through the compound area, through radio communications. the colonel's office where they actually swore him in, up to the director's office where they shared a stick of bubble gum and talked about how to catch all the bad guys. So Chris was elated. He was absolutely elated, and he actually went to sleep that night with a badge in his hand. The guy said, you know what, this isn't enough. We got to do something else. We got a cop out there without a uniform. So John's uniform, down off, I believe, McDowell, custom made and tailored a uniform for Chris. On May 1st, they brought it out to the house with a squad car and a motorcycle, couple motorcycles, and making as much noise with everything that they possibly could. And I know my neighbors thought they finally caught the woman, but they just stayed and played and had an absolute
That's awesome.
ball. Yes.
So you're talking